Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. We're going to be on in just a second. Sorry I'm taking so long. I had some technical difficulties. But this is me checking the audio levels. I'm going to turn that up and turn it down here because it's really loud in my ears. Okay, let me know how the sound is. I think the music is like really, really low, but I'm not really sure. Sounds good to Coop. Super Koopa. We're almost ready to go, by the way. Sorry, I'm just fixing stuffs. Music could go up a tick or two. Okay. Uno momento. The problem is I don't want to turn it up too much because it's really loud for me. So one sec, it's going to go off for just a sec. Okay, now the music is significantly louder. Here, I'm going to turn it down now. Let me know how the music is. I don't want it too loud. Jimbo wants the music loud, though. Yeah, Kaylin, I never got an email from you. So, yeah, it must have not gone through. That's weird. I've also been really bad at emails this week, to be completely honest. But I'll check it out on Instagram tonight. Sorry about that. Too loud, says Melinda. Too loud. Okay, let me turn it down, the music. Let's go like that. Okay, how's this for levels? Music is still playing, but it's just kind of like twiddling in the background is the goal. All right, just give me one moment. I need to go get my water and a pair of scissors. Okie dokie. I'm going to start recording. because I always forget about that. I'm so sorry all this technical difficulties and taking so long. We got to get rocking and rolling because we got a short stream today too. Ah! All right. Here we go.
Hello, everybody. Hello. That's right, I'm taking it over today. It's all me, all the time.
Hey, bud, I'm still here, too. Yeah, me.
No, it's just me.
Hey, everybody! Hello, say hi, Jack.
Hello.
Today, we have a very fun, weird live stream for us. This burp is totally in my face. Well, whatever. This burp is gonna be in my face for the stream, and that's alright. No, I might move him. Hi, everybody! Hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I'm having a pretty good Friday. It's been chill. It's been kind of a busy week, and I wanted to start a series today. That was my goal. Hold on, this guy's straight up in my outline, and it's annoying. You can go back there in a second. I want to do something like a series today. I want to start a series of videos. I wanted to make something a little bit bigger, and I have been wanting to remake Jack the hand puppet here forever. Like, I've really wanted to make him. I made him, honestly, it's maybe like 7 years ago now. Ugh, kind of a long time. But I never wrote down how I made him, ever. So we don't know how he's made. So this episode of our live crochet alongs and stuff is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna start a series of videos where we're going to be remaking our Goblin puppet live in a series of these videos, and we're gonna basically be we're basically going to be reverse engineering it. Hold on, things are too loud for someone. Well, that's all right. I can maybe fix that. I don't know what's too loud, but I'll turn down me a little bit. All right. So yeah, let's switch to the hands and we'll talk this through a little bit. All right. So here is my hand puppet, Jack Gurgle. I don't know if you've met him before, but he's very cute. He's very cool, and I like him a lot. Here you can see the inside of him. He looks kind of insane in there. You can't really see much because there's so much stuffing. But when you put your hand in there, there's a little thumb hole and there's a little mouth part. And now he's a puppet. Isn't that cool? Ah! So cool. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to not remake him, but we are going to rebirth him. We're going to make a copy of Jack. And in doing so, we're going to be talking about how the pattern is made. We're going to be basically re-engineering this crochet pattern from the beginning. And you're going to learn while we watch this some super cool crochet stuff. That's what I kind of was thought here. So like I kind of felt like this was a triple, three birds, one stone kind of thing. One, I want to do a live stream today, so we're live streaming. Two, I want to do like a series of live streams. So this is going to be one of a few of these because this is not going to be able, we're not going to be able to finish this in one episode is basically what I'm saying. And three, I really wanted to do this pattern. I've been wanting to do this pattern forever, and I've been wanting to like make reasons for it to happen. And so I'm very, yes, I've got a lot of, he's got a lot of brain. Yes, he's got a lot of brain in there. I've been wanting to make this pattern for a really, really long time. So this kind of feels like a good way to kind of like force my way to make this pattern, make a fun video where we can crochet it together, learn some stuff together. It'll be a great learning experience for a lot of people too, because we're going to be going backwards and like re-understanding the pattern by looking at the stitches that I made 6 years ago. So it's going to be a process, no doubt. We're going to make some mistakes. We're going to solve some problems. I'm actually really excited to do this with you guys and to get your guys' feedback and walk through it one step at a time. Why is he wearing an apron? No, he's not wearing an apron. This is a loincloth, but unfortunately he is without member. This is his little loincloth. It's not an apron. Like a goblin might wear. Okay, so here is going to be the process of how we're going to do this. And then, so we're going to talk about the process here for a second, and then we're going to talk about how you can support this channel if you'd like to support us. It would be really cool if you did. And then we're going to just get crocheting. Now, today's live stream will end at 5 p.m., so that's only an hour and a half of crocheting, unfortunately, which should give us enough time, I think, to make the nose, ears, and maybe even the arms today. That's our goal, is to try to get the nose, ears, and arms done today. And then next stream, we'll start working on the head, and then we'll probably have a whole stream where we're doing like the face and mouth features and stuff. And then we'll have a last stream, I think, where we finish everything up. We might end, this might be a 4-series streams, but I don't know. Yes. Okay. So, that's what the plan is today. We're going to be working it through one stitch at a time. We're also going to be remaking it in our Club Crochet Amigurumi cotton yarn, so it's going to be a little bit more vibrant of a Jack Gurgle, or whatever we end up naming our new puppet. We can customize it, which will be fun. And then obviously I'm going to be explaining the tutorial as I go through this. So every part of this pattern, I'm going to do my best to try to explain the pattern live, and then we're going to be updating the pattern throughout the series. So at the end of today, or at the end of this weekend probably, I'll get it on the website of the sections that we made today, so you can work on those sections, and then the next live stream, so on and so forth. Speaking of the next live stream, I don't know when the next stream is going to be, and so I left that up to you to vote for. So if you would like to vote for the next live stream, if you're watching this after the fact, I wanted to make it so that more people got an opportunity to really crochet along with us and join these live streams. So what I did was I put a poll on the Club Crochet community channel. I'll put a link to it right now in the chat right there. And all you need to do on that poll is vote. We are voting for when the next stream will be. Will it be Monday, June 15th at 5 p.m.? Will it be Wednesday, June 17th at noon? Pacific Standard Time for all of this. Will it be Tuesday, June 23rd at 4 p.m. or will it be Thursday, June 25th at 8 p.m.? So those are the options. Go ahead and vote now using that link that I put there. And let's get all of our materials together and get started in crocheting. Okay, so the first thing is, if you want to crochet this along with me, what are you going to need? The first thing you're going to need is the pattern, obviously. Now, like I said, we're going to be kind of working through this pattern live together. So it's going to be like one step at a time. But if you're watching this after the fact, the pattern will be available at clubcrochet.com. Specifically, it'll be at clubcrochet.com/goblin, and I'll have it on the website. It'll be available for members, and then eventually it'll be available for purchase. If you don't want to purchase it, or you don't got the money for it, that's totally fine. You can just rewatch these live streams, and we'll go through the tutorial one step at a time. It's just going to be a little bit more of a process. After these streams are over, we're going to take all of the live streams, edit them together in one long video, so it's easier to follow. And then do some shorts and stuff like that with them as well. Okay, so that's how that's the pattern part of this process. But outside of the pattern, of course, you're gonna need some other materials. Let's start with the yarn. We're gonna be using cotton yarn. I like using worsted weight cotton yarn for my amigurumi. We're gonna be using worsted weight cotton yarn in our Amigurumi Club Crochet yarn. This is our very special exclusive brand of yarn. We're actually gonna have it available for sale very, very soon. So if you are a member on the website, you're gonna have access to purchase this yarn soon. That'll be exciting. How many balls of this yarn I'm gonna need? I don't know. I have 2 here because I think today we'll need 2. I have a feeling we'll need probably 4, maybe 5 of these balls of yarn. I'm not really sure yet. It's just a big project, so it's gonna take a lot of yarn. This yarn is also a little bit bigger, so our final project is going to be slightly bigger, probably about that much bigger, I would assume, maybe. So it might increase by maybe like 5 to 10% the size. So yeah, that's the gist of the yarn. And again, this is going to be available for sale soonish. Okay, so that's the yarn we're going to be using. We're going to be using green yarn, of course. You'll need a crochet hook. We're going to be using a size G 4mm crochet hook today. It's my favorite size hook to use with this yarn. And then the only other thing we'll need today is scissors for cutting stuff. The only reason we're only going to need these materials right now is because we're only making the arms and ears and nose today. So there's going to be... Later, we're going to need a bunch of other materials like cardboard and felt. We're going to need duct tape eventually. We'll need a lot of stuffing. And we might need a sewing needle today, but maybe not. And yeah, I think that's the gist. If you like what's going on here and you think it's really cool, I didn't start the portrait stream. It says it's live on my end. There's people watching it and everything. If you like this video and you like what's going on here and you think it's pretty cool and you want to support this channel, well, there's a bunch of ways you can support this channel, but so let's just talk about some of them. The freest, easiest, cheapest way to support this channel: like this video down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you don't miss when we come out with new streams. Send this to a friend that you know that likes to crochet or likes puppets, because this is going to be a fun, weird stream, and it might be a fun one to do together. So I just thought that'd be kind of a fun thing. If you want to support us monetarily, oh my god, thank you. That's really sweet of you. You're just a little sweet petite. Thank you. If you want to support us monetarily, there's a bunch of ways you can support monetarily. Probably the bestest way right now is with a Club Crochet membership. Members get early access to patterns on the website. They get exclusive access to patterns. They get discounts on the shop. They get so much stuff. You can learn more at clubcrochet.com. You can get a free trial to see if it's something you're interested in and cancel it at any time. And yeah, it's totally free to sign up. And this pattern will be available for members eventually as well. Other ways you can support this channel: you can pre-order my book. Unfortunately, I think we only have 1 or 2 pre-orders between now and our last episode. So I'll add a couple of buttons to this really quick. And if you have already pre-ordered the book, shout out now in the chat and I'll add more of these buttons to this. This is our little collection here where oh wait, hold on, I forgot to name who these people were. Every buddy that supports and pre-orders our upcoming book that's coming out in September will get a button added to our little jar here, and once this jar is filled up, we're going to give away a hand crocheted project for people. Now, these people, we might have already added these ones in. I'm not really positive because I have a brain the size of a walnut. But Milena, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for pre-ordering the book. And Haley, thank you so much for supporting and getting the pre-ordering the book. We're getting pretty close. I think we have maybe like 20 more. And then we'll unlock our next giveaway. And we're going to have other ways to add buttons to that too. Like if you have pre-ordered the book prior to today, shout out right now and I'll add buttons to that. Speaking of, this is for, hold on. This is for Kaylin. Thank you so much for the support, Kaylin. Kaylin just tipped, which is really cool. So we're going to add, actually, yeah, we're going to add a big button for Kaylin too. So if you want to tip, you totally can. You can use the little dollar icon in the bottom of the chat there, and you can support this channel. So this is for you, Kaylin. Thank you so much. Look at this cool button. We're going to add that to there. And that's from Kaylin and Roland. So here, this is for Roland too. Roland is her kiddo. Thank you for the support, Kaylin. That really means a lot to me. Okay, and then if you've pre-ordered it, just give a shout out and I'll just keep adding them throughout the live stream for anybody who comments that they have pre-ordered. For example, this is for Natividad. And we got Zoe. And we got Cooper for sure. Oh, I know Lizzie's here, and she definitely pre-ordered the book as well. So go ahead and give a shout out if you have pre-ordered it, and we'll keep adding things to there. We had some questions in the chat, but I will do my best to respond to that after this. Kristen has a question about pre-ordering the book and getting a t-shirt. The t-shirt should come significantly before the book, but I will do you a favor and check that out after this stream. If you have any questions about your orders or anything like that, you can ask in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them, but obviously I'm kind of distracted right now. Feel free to email me at louie@clubcrochet.com if you have any questions. It's LOUIE at clubcrochet.com. This is for Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. This is for, I think this is for 18 Luck. Did you say? Oh no, Prisma. Prisma. Thank you, Prisma. Okay. We'll put these buttons to the side. All right, so those are the ways you can support this channel. There's also kits, merch. There's different patterns on the website. A bunch of different ways to support this channel. Okay, that's quite enough. Right, Jack? Right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get crocheting. Here's how this is going to work logistically. I'm going to have to figure out how I crochet this pattern and say it out loud. I might also need to write this down as we go so we can make sure I don't miss anything and I keep track of what the pattern is. So let's start. I think we should start with the ears. There's 2 ears. They're pretty relatively simple, I think, to make. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to write down ears right here, and I'm just going to re-look at this pattern and kind of like re-figure it out by analyzing the stitches themselves. So for round 1, here's what I usually do. I find the very center of my round here, and then I'll figure out how many stitches were in round 1. Well, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be hard to do this. I think there's 5 stitches in round 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches in round 2. Okay, so that's easy enough. I know how that works. And actually, I'm pretty sure there's only 4 in round 1. Oh no, there was 5. So maybe there's 7. No, wait, there's 4. There's 1 right here, 2, 3. No, it does look like there's 5, and then 1, 2. Hold on. This might be more difficult than I was expecting because the yarn is so fuzzy. I should have probably done a little research before. Okay, round 2 was an increase 1, and then 1 increase. Oh no, it's 1. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so round 2 is 1 and an increase, 1 and an increase. Like that. Okay, so round 1 is actually 4. And then round 2 is actually 6. So we're upping from 4 to 6 stitches. Round 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like round 3 is all single crochets, and then it goes up to 8 stitches, I believe, after that. Yes. Okay, now I'm remembering how this is done. 8 stitches and then another round of 8 stitches after that. Okay, so let me write this down. So it goes 4, 6, oops, 6, 8, 8, right? So it's 4, 6, 6, 8, 8. That's probably going to go up to 10, but let's count them. 1, 2, 3, yep, 4, 5, all the way up to 10. Okay, easy enough. And then I believe this is a whole round of 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so then another round of 10. So that's easy. Okay, so the ears are really simple. It's essentially, we're starting at a small circle of 4 stitches and then increasing up every 2 rounds by 2 stitches. but the increases are on opposite sides of the ears so that it grows flat. So it makes a flat ear. That's kind of cool. Now the weird part here is this curve there. I'm wondering if I actually did something for that curve or that just happened naturally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, it looks like we just increased up to 12. It probably just happened naturally. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah. And then another round of 12. And then is there any rounds of singles? Okay, cool. Easy. Super easy. All right. That's actually super easy. So then we go up to 12 stitches and then 12 and then 12 again. All right, so we got round 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like we have 10 rounds here for the ears, and they're actually pretty simple. So let's go ahead and rock through those, and we have 2 ears that we need to make. Now, whenever we remove the wrapping from one of our Club Crochet yarns, it makes this wonderful sound. It sounds like this. Ready? Oh! It happens every time. I don't know. It just always happens that way. Whoop! All right. So that's pretty easy. Ears are going to be easy squeezy lemon peasy. Actually, I don't think we need too long of a tail end too. We can go like this long of a tail end. Also, shout out to our moderators today. Thank you so much for being here, Cooper and Zoe. They are helping keep this live stream chill. And I think that Coop is actually helping to write it down. Yeah, cool. Coop, you can help to write it down. I mean, that would be super helpful. I will say this, I think it's going to be relatively easy to write today's down. So, like, if you can't, that's totally okay. I very, very much understand. All right, we're going to use a stitch marker as well for this so that you can see the process as I go. I'm just going to use this little strand of purple yarn as our stitch marker. For round 1, I'm just doing 4 single crochets into the magic loop. Now, as I do this quote-unquote tutorial, it's kind of like less of a tutorial, more of like a, I don't know, crochet along. As I go through this process, I'm not going to go through every stitch. This isn't how to do the single crochet, blah, blah, blah. This isn't for beginners, basically is what I'm saying. If you're a complete beginner and you've never crocheted before in your life, start with an easier project. I suggest probably like one of my little goblins would be smart. My pet rock pattern that looks like this. He's one of my favorites, actually, for starters. You can find this one at clubcrochet.com/rock or on our YouTube channel. This one's a great way to learn the basics of crochet. If you already know how to crochet a little bit and you're looking for a challenge, then yeah, crochet along with us. I think you should. It'll be fun. Again, this is going to be a process, so you're going to have a lot of time to catch up to me and stuff like that. All right, round 1 of our ears is just going to be 4 single crochets. So I'm just going to crochet 4 times into the magic loop here. Really easy. And again, I'm not going through super detailed process on how to crochet all of these stitches. But we are going to keep a stitch marker just to keep track of where we're at. And we'll just fold that over. Okay, and then round 2, it looks like we're increasing it up from 4 to 6, but as we do our increases, we always want them on the same places as the previous increases so that it increases in a way where it's increasing on 2 different sides of it, which will give us our flat shape, which is exactly what we want for our ears. So round 2 was just a single crochet into our first stitch right here, and I'll work around our tail end as we do this round. So I just do 1 single crochet into our first stitch, and then into the next one right there, I'm just going to do an increase, and then I'll repeat that again. So that way it'll go up from 4 to 6 stitches, and it'll be on either side of the piece, so that both increases are on opposite ends of each other. And then that's where we're going to be putting our increases from now on. So our increases for the rest of this round are going to be put into this last stitch of each of our previous increases. By the way, I kind of tucked it out, so you'll see like it ended up like this, and I tucked it in like that because we want that to be the point of our ear. So there's a little edge of our ear. All right, so that was our round 2, right? So round 3 is just regular single crochets in each stitch. Now, after I make our first one here, by the way, I'll definitely be chilling out a lot more and hanging out with the chat because our second one is going to be made the same way as our first. So that's going to be kind of the process as we do this this crochet along and this live stream here, is that like there will be times of kind of where I don't need to really explain what I'm doing as much, and in those cases I'll be hanging out with the chat a lot more. So if you are watching it live, don't worry, I'll be here. Okay, we're gonna up now. That was the end of round, I believe that was round 3, where we just had 6 stitches around. So now we're on to round 4, and see I'm just pulling our stitch marker up to keep track. And round 4 is we're increasing it up again. So this time I'm doing 2 single crochets and then an increase, and repeating that twice. So because I'm doing those increases on opposite sides, it's going to create that flat effect. And you'll see the increases are also going to line up with our previous increases. So it's actually going to be pretty easy to crochet these ears without a pattern at all. Just because you can kind of like follow where the increases are from 2 rounds above it. So we're just going to repeat that process again. Pretty easy. And then, so you can kind of see how this ear is shaping up. It's just a continuous repeat of like increasing it up and then doing a round of single crochets between those increases. And that's going to be the case, I think, with a lot of this pattern. Is it's going to be, I mean, obviously, right? A lot of single crochets. It's almost, I think it's almost entirely single crochets. Okay, so that got us up to 8. And then we're going to go up again and just do single crochets in each round or each stitch, keeping that stitch marker away, and just keep going. So these are just going to be regular single crochets. Ooh, I love that. Someone's saying that they made a pet rock named Bob Rocks, and it has a beard like Bob Ross. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. And then Zoe wants to know, is the hair and beard made of moss? Oh my gosh, moss, Bob Moss. That's so fun. That's so cool. I love that. All right, so that is another round of single crochets. I think that was our 8 single crochets. Now I'm just gonna up to 10. So you see what I mean? This part's easy. This part's easy, and I love starting out with something easy because it's a little easier for me to keep track. I'm also gonna not work around this stitch mark anymore, keep it on the outside, and I'm just gonna use this little end there to know, like, I can follow it my rounds back to where that stitch marker is. It'll make it a little easier, and it'll keep this stitch marker on the outside so I can pull it out later. So this round, by the way, is round 6. And round 6, it looks like we're doing 3 single crochets and then an increase. And then we're just repeating that again. So 3 single crochets and then an increase. And that's going to bring us up to our 10 stitches around. And we're actually almost done with one of these ears, which is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Right? Here, let's, I'll hold this up to the head real quick so you can kind of see where we're at. We're about right here. See? And you can see it kind of shaping up. So that's looking great. I have a feeling the ears and nose are actually going to be relatively easy for this pattern. The part that's going to be a little bit harder for today's live stream, I believe, is going to be the arms. Because the arms, I did something weird. I can see it right now in the stitches. I did something really weird where I think I worked over rounds of stitches to kind of give the arm a little bit of a curve. So I'm not looking forward to trying to figure that out, but I will figure it out regardless. All right, so that's the end of that round. That was I just finished up round 7, where we just did single crochet in each stitch, and now we're going on to round 8. Round 8 is going to be the same kind of increasing around. So this round we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase into the next. And then we'll repeat that process one more time. So 4 single crochets and then an increase. And that means that your stitch count by the end of this round should be 12. So you should have 12 stitches by the end of, I said round 8, right? Yeah, round 8. Okay, and that's actually our top stitch count. So now we just have 2 more rounds to go for these ears, and it's just going to be 2 rounds of single crochets. Let's hold it up to the ear again so you can see. We're almost there. Yeah, so just 2 rounds of single crochets. Easy squeezy lemon peasy. Let's do it. Did I hear the news on Pocopia's DLC? I actually haven't played Pocopia yet. Nope, I haven't. I know, it's shocking. Everybody says I really like it, and I think Jules would really like it too, but we just haven't had a chance to play it. But I did see the news that you can go underwater and stuff. It seems like actually a pretty big DLC. I've been a little obsessed with another game right now called Mina the Hollower, and I very much like it. Okay, so that was round 9. I just have one more round, round 10. It's just another round. It's just another round of single crochets. So just 2 rounds of single crochets to finish this piece up, or finish the ear up. And I believe each one of these rounds have 12 stitches in it. And the only thing we want to look at before we finish this up is where do we want the end of our ear to go? Do we want it to end right here, or do we need to move it over a little bit? So let's look at our finished project here. I'll do some math. I'm looking for the last stitch. Okay, looks like, yeah, we just finished it up and then did a slip stitch. Pretty easy. Cool. So after that last stitch, we're just going to go to the next one right here and just do 1 slip stitch. And we'll cut the yarn. I obviously want to have enough yarn here so that we can sew it onto our head later too. I just pull that through. And there we go. We have one of our ears. I'm going to pull a stitch. I'm gonna pull our stitch marker out. Like that too. Okay, 1 ear done. Look at that. And you can see it is a little bit bigger because this yarn is just slightly bigger than the yarn that we were working with in our original piece. So you can see it's going to be a slightly larger puppet. But that's all right. I think that's kind of fun. Okay, so we got that ear done. Now I'm just going to do another one of those ears. And because I already went through the instructions for it, I'm just going to crochet it without explaining the pattern as I go. Make it a little bit easier for us. Yeah, I know we're both going to love it for sure. Yeah, see, Emerald Turtle, that's my problem too. I was looking at Jack here the other day and I was like, man, I don't know how I made you. I was like, I know I remember like rough parts of how I made you, but I can't remember the like actual stitches. So that would be a bummer if something happened to you or something like that and we never wrote it down. And also a lot of people have been asking, oh, I want to make Jack. So I'm like, oh, well, I need to give people the option to be able to make it. This will also unlock, I think, a lot of people's understanding of how to make puppets. Puppets are they're not too hard to make, especially when they're crocheted like this, because the crochet actually holds a lot of, what's the word? It holds up the fabric really well. So you actually, it's got more structure when it's crocheted like this, which is really fun. Here, I'll show you another one of my pieces. The problem with the structure is it does make it a little bit harder to open and close the mouth. Just a little bit. But to be honest, a finished puppet usually has foam on the inside to keep the heads in a specific shape. So that makes it equally as like dense of a project. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized. Oh no, we're good. We're good. I'm just crocheting all around now, by the way. I'm not talking about what I'm doing while I'm doing it, but I will say that I believe I'm on round 4 right now of the ears. After this round, I'll show you one of my other puppets that I've made. His name is Bluey, and that was my first one that I made. And so you can kind of see like my process a little bit of puppet making, which I think is kind of fun. All right. So that's the end of that round. Oh, this stitch was really bad gauge. I'm going to undo and redo that stitch. Just because I am antsy. I'm antsy? Is that the right word? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll keep going up from there. So this week I was working a lot on my upcoming announced game. I know I've been talking about it to the live stream a lot, but it hasn't been officially announced yet. So if you're watching this right now, you're getting a behind the scenes look, or at least you're hearing a behind the scenes story about my upcoming game that I'm working on. I'm calling it Battle Goomies. It's a card game, a collectible card game where you can crochet all of your characters. Anyhow, I finally finished this week working on a digital version of the game. So if you are part of the playtesters, you should be getting an email from me this weekend with a whole new update. I updated the entire game. There's a bunch of new rules that I think make it really, really fun. I've gotten rid of a lot of rules to make it easier to learn and easier to make. And then I'm finally finished a digital version so I can actually play it along with testers, so I can get your feedback live. So I'm really excited to announce it. I was trying to make today be the big announcement for it, but I just didn't feel ready, you know what I mean? So we're going to be announcing it next week instead. So look out for that. And if you're a tester, look out for an email this weekend. It's really exciting. I really, really like the new additions. So I'm very curious of what you think as well. All right. I think this is the end of round. I think that was our 10th stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So we only have 3 more rounds to go. And then we're going to switch over. Should we do our ear, or should we do our hands, or should we do our nose next? First one to get 3 comments wins. Nose or arms next? Arms or nose? Nose or arms? 1, 2, 3. The nose should be pretty easy. It looks like it actually might even be the same exact pattern. Or maybe it's like the same pattern but a little shorter. Or should it be the other way around? Hey! Oh my gosh! A bunch of yen! Wow! Thank you so much! 2,000 yen! That's great! Oh my gosh, I'll use that in Japan. How exciting! Thank you! Arigatou gozaimasu! That's really sweet of you. Thank you. Here, we'll add something. We'll add a coin to the giveaway for you. I believe that's 12 stitches. We only have one more round here for the ear. Thank you so much. A golden button for you. I can't read your name because I don't know kanji. So if you want to write it in hiragana or katakana, I probably can read it. Thank you. Arigato. All right, I think this is our last round for our ear here. Nose, nose, nose. Okay, well, nose goes. We are going to crochet our nose next. Should be a pretty easy part, actually. Again, I think it might actually be the exact same pattern, but like not doing these last 3 rounds. That might be what it was. I don't know. I'm starting to remember parts of this pattern, though. Again, it's the arms that I'm kind of the most, like, worried about for today's stream of remembering how to do it. All right, so there's our second ear done. And there we go. We got our ears made. Pretty quick, pretty easy. Look at that. Looks pretty cute. Do it look good on me? Here, let's switch the face real quick. What do you think? I look actually more like an alien than a goblin. Nano. So there's our ears. Next up is nose. Let's look at our final project here and figure out our nose. It looks like the tip of the nose maybe is a little bit more pointy. Let's see. That's the end of our... Is that the end of our... No. The end of our round is going to be over here. That's the end of our round, which looks like it increased up to 6. Let's see. Sorry, Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. Okay, so the start is the same. That's 6, then 8, 8, 10, 10, 12. I think it just ends on round 8. It's the exact same, but ends on round 8. Hold on, let me count my stitches here. Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. It's the exact same pattern as the ear, but it just ends 2 rounds early. Easy. Easy one. All right. Easy enough. Okay, so again, that's just the same exact pattern as the ears, but we're just stopping it at round 8. So actually in the pattern, I'm probably going to even write that like ears and nose. And then after round 8, I'll say slip stitch 1, or for a nose, you know, slip stitch 1 and then cut the yarn. So that's really easy. Nice. This will be a nice little simple one. I'm glad we're doing the nose right now. Thank you for suggesting that, chat. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. We got a good question in the chat from Nicole. Some days you think you'll never be able to crochet without looking. I practiced a lot actually when I was a kid. So when I learned how to crochet when I was 15, maybe 14, I think 15. And I started selling my crochet when I was like maybe half a year into crocheting. And I got really into crocheting beanies. And I was like, what if I could crochet beanies while I slept? And so I practiced my eyes closed crocheting, and I finished a beanie. I've made a couple beanies with my eyes completely closed while I crocheted it, just to test myself. I mean, it's been literally like 15 years. No. It's been 19 years since I did that. Wow, I'm old. So I don't know if I can do that again now, but it might be a fun challenge actually sometime to do that. That could be kind of fun. Okay, question from Nicole. Nicole says, Louie, you want to crochet more with cotton yarn, but your tension is not good enough. I keep getting big gaps in your work. Suggestions? Yes, easiest suggestion ever, dude. Smaller crochet hook. Period. That is, I guarantee that's your problem. Is you're probably crocheting with too big of a crochet hook. That being said, if you aren't using too big of a crochet hook, there are a few things I can tell you to fix your tension. One is something that you're actually seeing me do with every single stitch. You just don't even notice that I'm doing it because I'm doing it so subtly, which is that I'm consistently tightening my stitches. I'm not tightening the top of my stitch. I'm just tightening the loops of my stitches a little bit. So let me show you what I mean. One second. I need coffee or I'll die. I'll die without coffee. Okay. So by the way, I'm on round, I believe I'm on round 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm about to finish up round 4 of the ears. Here, let me finish this stitches really quick. Okay, so check this out. Check this out, Nicole. So watch me, I'm gonna get really close to the camera really quick to show you. Watch me, I'm gonna yarn over, pull it through the stitch like that, right? And I get this much gap. Okay, if I yarned over and pulled through both of those right now, we'd have a really stretched out stitch. So what I always do after I pull through, I pull it tighter and I tighten it up. I don't tighten it where I can't pull my crochet hook in and out like that, because if I tighten it really tight right now, it would like hold my crochet hook. There's like friction there now. So I loosen it a little bit, but it's just about that loose. You can see just the smallest amount of gap between the yarn and the hook. I do that with every single stitch. So I did that, I yarn over again, I pull through 2 loops like that. Sometimes I pull it out and then I pull it back in to get that same size. And I'm doing that for all of my stitches. So I go in the next one here, pull the yarn through, and then I pull it tighter. You just don't even see me do it because I do it so quick and subtly that it kind of just looks, there, I just did it, watch. So pull through, and then you'll see me go boom, and I'm just tugging it a little bit. And that is always fixing my tension so that every stitch is the same as the last one. And sometimes you'll see me do it really drastically, and that's because my first loop here, I feel it and it feels a little loose, and so I'm pulling it tight enough where it's pulling this loop and the loop before so that they are both a similar gauge. That is my trick. That's my big trick to getting perfect tension the whole time. Always readjusting your stitches after every stitch, and just making it a habit in your crochet, and you'll get really good stitches, and you won't even know that you're doing that. Yeah, so that's my biggest tip there, Nicole. I hope that helps. There's a bunch of other tips you can get for gauge. Obviously, the yarn you're using. I know cotton yarn specifically can be difficult with gauge because it's not fuzzy, so it doesn't hide those holes in it. But I will say, if you're having a problem with cotton yarn and your tension and gauge, I guarantee you're having a problem with those other yarns as well. The difference is that those other yarns are squishier, so they're just not showing your holes. But if you stuffed your piece too much, you will see those holes again. So working on tension and gauge for cotton yarn, the only difference really is that the stitches are easier to see and it's less stretchy, so it's holding those holes open a little bit more. Yeah, I'm glad that helps. Yeah, and obviously, like, throughout today's live stream and just in general, like, please feel free to ask questions about crochet. That's like literally the whole point of this channel, is to give you help, help out people that want to learn how to crochet. Another thing that I wanted to mention about tension really quick for you, Nicole, is that which is what Timothy actually talked about, is stitches being too tight. Yeah, be careful about stitches being too tight. You don't want to pull that so tight where you have so much friction. See, look, that's a good amount of friction right here. This is actually a great test. A good test to see how much friction. It should be friction enough, like enough looseness where the hook can slide out like that. But that is too tight. The hook is holding itself up. But if I loosen enough, the hook slips out in a good way. Now, if the hook fully slipped out, if it was like this, then the hook is just gonna like fall out. That's way, way too loose. So you want that nice middle point. Yeah. I should do a video all about tension and stuff. That would be really, really good idea, actually. Okay, let's see, where was I? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're actually on our last round of the nose right now. 5 and 6. And then we're repeating that one more time to go to 6. The only big difference, or the main difference of this nose and these ears on the goblin's face. Okay, so that is going to be stuffing, and we'll talk about that in just a second too. So we just finished that round. Let me just hold it up to the nose. Yeah, look at that. That's like totally same shape nose. Perfect. All right, so I'm just going to finish up with a slip stitch. And again, the nose was just the ears, but I finished up after round 8. So I got to 12 stitches and did a round of increasing up to 12 stitches, and then I slip stitched. So I just didn't put on that last 2 rounds of single crochets so that the nose is just slightly shorter. So here's the nose next to the ears. You can see how it's ending just a little bit before because it's just a little bit shorter than the ears. All right, so now we got our ears done. We got our nose done. Next up is going to be the tougher part, which is going to be the arms. And I think the arms are going to be the last of our parts for today's stream because they are going to take a little bit of effort. We're going to have to use some fancy stitches here. We're going to have to use some fancy techniques for curving the arms. And they don't look that complicated, right? They're just stubs, but they are. They're actually shockingly complicated. Okay, There's also wire in the hands so that I can open and close the hands. So check this out. Because there's wire in that hand, I can actually like close it like that, and it holds its shape a little bit better. The idea was so that he could grab onto things. The wire that I used was pipe cleaners though, so it didn't hold as strong as I was hoping. So for our new version here, we're going to use actual wire for these arms. Now the first thing I'm going to do before I actually get started crocheting these arms is figure out what the pattern was again. I think I can kind of do this pretty quick because I am starting to remember parts of it. So I'm going to do my best and say it through. Hold on, let's fix this up too. Ears and nose. And we're going to go like this. Nose. There. Okay. Uh-oh. Foot cramp. Ow. Okay. Arms. Round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think there's going to be a decent amount of rounds here, and we might even go past that. Okay, so round 1 of the arms. I bet you I did 6 stitches. I almost always do that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 stitches for round 1. I was right. Round 2, it looks like I increased for each stitch around. 2, 3, 4. Yep, 12 stitches for round 2. Easy enough. Round 3, now here's the tricky one. Round 3, it looks like I did 1 single crochet, and then a spiked bobble and a single crochet, and then repeated that process 3 times. So another single crochet, and then a spiked bobble and a single, spiked single, and then over here we got single increase, single, spiked bobble, single, single increase. Okay, so I remember how to do that. Just kind of hard to explain. Essentially what round 3 is we're increasing it up to 18 stitches with fingers. Okay, so round 3 is we're increasing it up and we're adding fingers to it. Okay, not too crazy, honestly. The hard part there is going to be making the spiked bobble stitches, but it's really not too bad, to be honest. Oh, Tina's here! Oh my gosh, Tina, I was so excited. I'm glad that you're here. Tina is Jack's #1 fan. Okay. Next round. I believe the next round is just all single crochets. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, and we're going to count that in. 18. I believe round 4 is where we're going to be working around wire. Okay. It actually might be round 3 where we work around wire too. I don't know. It looks like we actually have a few rounds here. So that was round 4. Round 5, it looks the exact same. And even round 6, right up there, looks like all single crochets again. Okay, now is where things are going to get complicated after that round. Okay, so let me write that down. So 5 and 6. So 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so all these are going to be singles. Okay. Let me do that real quick. 7. Round 7 is where things are going to get a little interesting. Because see this weird part right here? You kind of can see how the stitches are kind of like pulling away from the stitch there? That's because I did something weird here where I worked into the back loops and then into the front loops in the next round, which gave the arm, you can kind of see it. It's very subtle, but it's got a little bit of a curve to it. And that's how I did that. So here's how I did round 7. It is going to be, this will be the end of the round. Oh, yeah, that's the end of round 6. Okay, so round 7 was single 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 single crochets. Okay, hold on, let me write this down. 12 SC, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the back loops only. So 5, and that's going to be slip stitches back loop only, and then 1 single crochet into both loops after that. Yeah, and then, okay, so that's not that bad actually. That round actually is a little easy, but basically we're gonna be working in those back loops only to kind of pull that stitch over, and then leave those unused front loops only for the next round to work into. Okay. All right, next round after that is gonna also be weird. So round 8, I believe it's gonna be basically single crochets in each stitch. Wait, hold on. That was the last stitch. Okay, this next round is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, sorry, 11, 12. Looks like this is another round. Yeah. Okay, so looks like we did 2 rounds. Wow, that's actually kind of surprising. Hold on. That round. Yeah, okay, so this round actually is very similar. Where we did 12 single crochets. And then 5, same kind of thing, slip stitches in those back loops, and then 1 single crochet. So it looks like we're doing 2 rounds up. Interesting. Okay. So these are all skipped, and there's our last single crochet for that round. Okay. So that's 8. Oh, I'm glad we're doing this. Okay, round 9 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't do any decreasing here. 7, 8, 9, 10. Should be 12. 11, 12. Okay, 12. And then those front loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1 single crochet here. So that's pretty easy. So 9 is all singles. Working in front loops only. Okay. So that's 9. Easy enough. Ends right there. And then round 10 is going to be, I think we might have a decrease here. Maybe not, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so that's still 18. Okay, round 10 is all singles. And then round 11, we're going to get decreases. 1, 2, 3, or are we? 4, 5, 6. No, we're not. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wow. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yes, okay, another round of 18. Wow, okay. Hey, look at this, though. I wrote down the perfect amount of rounds because round 12 is our last round there. That's nice. Okay, round 12, we definitely are decreasing. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 is a decrease? Weird. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is a decrease. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so that just decreases it down 3 times. Okay, easy enough. Okay, that's actually, you know what? They're a little complicated, but they're really not that bad, actually, to be honest. Okay, we can totally do that. Totally. And the start is relatively easy. Now, before I get going, though, let's grab some wire, because we're going to need wire. You could use pipe cleaners here, as I said before, but if we can, I think wire's probably a better idea. Just because it'll be a little easier for us to control. Now, where did I put my wire cutter? Oh, I put it in the other room. Oh, crumbs on bums. Hold on. I have a secret wire cutter somewhere in here. I'm sure I do. Secret tunnel. Hey, anybody else see the trailer for the new season of what's that show? Avatar: The Last Airbender? It looks freaking awesome. Okay, I don't know where my wire cutters are, which is unfortunate for us right now. One moment, please. Shoot! Where did I put my wire cutter? No! This is what happens when you have a room that is a mess and a half, dude. I've got the messiest room in all the land. And that's on me, dude. That's on me. Oh boy. Okay, well, I don't got wire cutters, so we're gonna have to, maybe we will have to go with pipe cleaners. Odd, that's so weird though. I have 2 pairs of this. I found some super strong wire, some extra wire. That's not what we need. I don't think I can cut it with this. I could try cutting it with these, but they might actually ruin my scissors, and that's why I don't want to do it. Oh, maybe there's pliers in this. Nope. I'm sorry, team. I'm trying. I'm looking for it. 1 second. Aha! Emergency pliers! Okay, cool. Those are gonna work. All right. That was annoying. All right, so we're gonna need some of this wire. I don't know how much we need, but I've got these fancy cutters, so we're gonna use these. I think we just need like a little bit though, like that much maybe. We'll find out. We'll need more for the second arm, obviously. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's get back to crocheting. All right, so we do want a relatively long tail end so we can sew it onto the body a little easier. And let's get started on one of our arms. The arms are going to be made the same way, so we don't need to worry too much about that. And we're going to start with just 6 single crochets into the magic loop for round 1 of the arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Look at that. Okay. Next up, we're going to, well, let's use a stitch marker. Keep track of our rounds a little easier. You know, maybe we should use a longer stitch marker this time. This one might be a little too long, but it might work. Do-do-do. There we go. All right. Okay. Pull that tighter. This tail end is crazy long. Let's cut it at least half that size. And maybe a little bit more. All right. Round 2. Round 2, we're just increasing it up. So round 2 is just an increase into each stitch around. I'm going to work around our green tail end just to keep it locked in. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. This is not the round where we want to add our wire anyhow. So, you know what? Maybe we'll do this in round 3. We'll add the wire. Because then it'll be closer to the hand part. No, wait. Actually, no, we'll do round 4, like we were originally thinking. Okay. Let's Speaking of round 3, we're almost done with round 2 here, which again, increasing each stitch around brings us to 12 stitches. And there we go. So that's going to be the end of round 2 there. All right, round 3 is where things are going to get weird. So I believe it's, hold on, 1 single crochet and then a spiked bobble and an increase. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. We're going to do 1 single crochet in the first. Here, I'm going to get a little closer to the camera here for anybody watching after the fact that wants to learn how to make a spiked bobble stitch. Spiked bobbles are what I use for making like arms and stuff. So, okay, so let's see. We got 1 single crochet here for our first stitch. Oh wait, hold on, stitch marker. Oh, we can't forget about stitch markers. It's a legal requirement. There we go. All right, 1 single crochet here. And then for our next stitch right here, we want a spiked bobble and a single crochet. So for a spiked bobble stitch, this is for those watching after the fact or during that want to learn how to make a spiked bobble. Pretty easy. And well, actually, they are probably one of the most complicated pattern stitches I use. Spiked bobble is basically like a mini bobble stitch with a mini picot in between. So we're going to yarn over, go into the next stitch right here, yarn over again and pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2. So kind of like you're starting a double crochet. That's going to be part 1. Part 2, we're going to do another one of those in the same stitch. So we're going to do another, we're going to yarn over into the same stitch right here, yarn over again, pull through, then yarn over and pull through 2, 1 and 2 like that. So now you have 3 stitches on our hook, or 3 loops on our hook like that. Now, while you have those 3 loops on the hook, we want to do a mini picot. So we're going to chain 2. So with this on our hook, just this first loop, we want to pull through 1, yarn over again, and pull through 2. Okay, now still with all these loops on the hook, we want to pull this loop over to the side, find that back loop that's going to be like right, let's get really close, right there. And we want to get a crochet hook into that and do a slip stitch. So we go into that stitch. I usually have to use my nail to kind of pry the hook into that stitch. And then we yarn over, pull it through that loop, and then through the first loop on the hook right here, like that. And that creates this little point, see? All right, now to finish up a spiked bobble, we do 1 more of those double crochets. So we yarn over into the same stitch that we just worked into, right there. Yarn over again and pull it through the loop, then yarn over and pull through 2. So the same as we did before with that mini picot. And then to finish up a spiked bobble, all you need to do, you see we have our 4 loops on the hook with that little weird point in between right there. All you need to do to finish this up is yarn over and pull through all those stitches. So we yarn over, pull through them all. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there you go. See, and it makes this weird little point. All right, after doing that spiked bobble, we want to do another single crochet into the same exact stitch we just worked into. So we're going to take our hook, find that same stitch right there, yarn over, pull it in, go around it, yarn over, and pull through 2, 1 and 2. Okay, so that's going to be the arm, or that's going to be the fingers. See? Makes this weird little spiky point at the end. Useful for noses or, in our case, claws. Okay. So for the arms, we want to do that same process of 1 single crochet and then 1 spiked bobble and a single crochet in the same stitch. We want to repeat that 3 times to go around to here, and then we'll do another one down here for a thumb. So he's only got 4 fingers like a cartoon character. So 1, yes, the original Jack was definitely made, I think with Lily Sugar and Cream yarn. It could have been Bernat, but it was probably Lily Sugar and Cream. Okay, so this is a second repeat here. It's another one of these spiked bobbles. Ooh, thank you. Yes, Kaylin says she finds it also helpful to wiggle a sewing needle into the back loop too. So here, let me show you what she means by that. I think this is what you mean, and you can let me know if I'm wrong. But is to do this, to actually help you find where that back loop is. So I'm working on another spiked bobble here. I did the chain 2. She means this back loop right here. It can be helpful to have a needle there to tell you that's where you want to put your crochet hook. I think that's what you mean. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. There we go. Someone from the portrait chat, by the way, hi, wanted to know, would yarn work for this pattern? I don't know what yarn art is, but I think you could use almost any kind of yarn. It's just going to look different based on what kind of yarn you use. Actually, if someone wants to make this with blanket yarn, I guarantee you're going to have a gigantic puppet. It'll be like this big. Like a giant puppet goblin. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. If someone does that, I'll give you straight up. This is a promise for you. If someone out there that's watching this video right now decides to make a goblin puppet using this pattern, but with blanket yarn, so it's a giant goblin, I will give you a free year's membership to Club Crochet if you send me the picture. The first person that does that and sends me a picture, you'll get a whole year's worth of designer level membership to my website, so you can have all the patterns on the site. Only the first person to do it though. And that is a crazy ask, by the way. All right, so we're gonna do one more of those repeats. One single here, and then that other spiked bobble in this next stitch. I'm just gonna do it really quick now that we've gone through two of them. And you kind of see, once you've made like literally 1,000 of these spiked bobbles, it becomes a lot easier to just boop boop. It's just another stitch at that point. Practice, practice, practice. Just like everything else. All right, and one more single crochet there. Okay, so there's our 3 repeats to make our little fingies. Next up, we want to do a regular repeat here. So this next round is going to be this next repeat, 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. So very normal. 1 single, 1 increase. And then we're going to do one more of those spiked bobble repeats just to make the thumb. So that's going to be 1 single crochet and then our spike bobble and single crochet in the same stitch for the thumb right here. Pretty easy. 1, 2. Let's do that point. That. Boop. And then one more in the same stitch right here. Okay, and then another single. All right. And then the last repeat part for this arms, let's see, what are we on? We're on round 3. The last repeat for round 3 here is just going to be 1 single crochet and then 1 increase. Just regular singles there. Okay, that'll be the end of round 3. You can see our hand starting to come together, right? Pretty cool. Looking pretty good, I think. I like it. Okay, now this next round is going to be where we want to add in the wire. So we want to work around our wire. This round is going to be all single crochets. We don't need to go too crazy here working around this wire. We really only need to work around the wire for like every 3 stitches. And the only reason I say that is because you probably won't want to... Sorry, I got distracted by a comment, but I'll answer that comment in a second. We only want to work around like every few stitches so that this wire doesn't poke through the stitches that much. And again, if you don't have this wire, use a pipe cleaner or like 2 pipe cleaners wound together. That'll probably work just fine. Or just don't even use wire at all and have an open hand. That's also very, very okay. Okay, I'm actually not going to work around our stitch marker here just to keep things a little bit more kosher. We're going to do 1 single crochet and every 3... This round, by the way, round 4 here is all single crochets all the way around with 18 stitches total. Every 3 stitches, I'm going to work around the wire. So there's 1, and there's 2, and then here is 3. And when I work around the wire, I'm going to pull 2 loops through, and then I'm going to take our wire here. We're going to place it around it. I'm going to leave a little bit left over like that because we want something to wind it to the end. And then we're going to work around it like this and single crochet around that wire. Just like that. Pretty easy. Okay, and then we're just going to leave that. We're not going to work around the wire for the next few stitches, which might be a little difficult, especially as we get further and further, but for right now it's not that bad. 1, there's 2, and here's 3. We want to start the stitch, then get the wire, and then work around the wire. See how I'm working around it like that? Nice, okay. Okay, we want to keep doing our curve as we go through this round too. Curve it away just for a second so that we can get around it. 1, 2, maybe it would have been smart to go through every stitch, but whatever. Make sure to get a little bit more there. There we go, work around the wire. 3. Okay. You know, I'm just gonna do like this to get it away, and then we'll pull the wire over. Oh no, never mind, that won't work. Just gotta bend it away. But it's actually, it's making that curve as I bend it away too, which is good because we obviously want a curve. Okay. 1, 2, here's 3. Make sure to get that wire there and work around it. Try not to poke myself in the hand too much. Okay, and then we're gonna get that wire away from us a little bit. Almost done with this round. 1, 2, there's 3. Let's get that curve going on this wire a little bit more so it's shaped better. And then, you see, it's just a little complicated to work around a wire, but it's not like bad. It's just a kind of, it's not like it's difficult necessarily. It's just kind of annoying. Go. There's 1. It's gonna be the last couple. Oopsies, I worked around the wire there. I mean, I guess at this point it doesn't really matter too much, but we'll try to avoid it. 1, 2. It's gonna be our last stitch for this round. And we want to make sure to work around the wire for that last stitch. Okay, so that's the end of round, what was that, round 4? Working around that wire. And for the end of this round, I'm going to pull my loop out for a second. I'm going to wind these two ends of the wire together so that it doesn't come apart ever. And then we're going to cut it. So we don't need to do this too drastically. We just want to make sure that the ends of the wire are on the inside and keep them together. So I'm just going to use these two ends. I'm just going to wind them together a little bit like that. Okay, it doesn't need to be very clean. It's all going to be on the inside anyhow. And then I'm going to cut the wire. Keep those points, because we don't need that much end. There we go. And I'm going to try curving this wire also. This, so it's inside of the hand more. The more we can get it on the inside of the hand, the better. And then now I can kind of, you're going to see this a lot more later when we finish it, but now we can kind of like, see, it'll hold that shape of what we kind of turn the hand into. So it'll give us more flexibility and room for things. I'm worried a little bit that this wire is too strong, but I'm hoping that the stuffing that we fill it with later will help us kind of with shaping and stuff. So we'll see. That might have been a folly, but worth a shot. Okay, let's get back to crocheting. That was round 4 of our hand. Now we're on round 5, and round 5 and 6 are just single crochets, so we actually don't need to stress too much now. We'll leave this tail end there. And we're just gonna do 2 rounds of single crochets. I'll work around the wire every now and then when it comes up, but you can try to avoid working around the wire too. Again, like, I don't know necessarily, maybe I should have worked around the wire completely for that round. We'll find out. We'll find this out together. All right. Question. DK Wait. Captain Barbosa. Hey. I like the name. Captain Barbosa says, not related, blah, 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 to what we're making, but can someone please easily explain what DK weighted yarn and such means? Yes, I can do that for you. They are different sizes of yarn. Yes, they are. They're not different materials, usually. I mean, some, like DK weight, you can usually say is basically like, it means double knitting, I believe. Yeah, double knit yarn. It just means like it's really light. I think it's almost sock weight. Is sock weight and DK weight the same? I'm not entirely sure. You know, we could use Jules for this question, actually. She used to work at a yarn store for a long, long time and is very bilingual when it comes to yarn names. But I know it means double knit. I'm guessing that's because you probably hold two strands together while you knit them normally. There's also a difference for like, ooh, someone says flower wire might work too and be less pokey. Interesting. I don't think I've ever used flower wire. I'll look into that. Yeah, so I think DK is double knitting. I don't really know why it's called double knitting, but it's essentially like really thin yarn. Like it's tiny. I think like 3 strands of double knitting might be 1 worsted weight strand worth of weight. The weights are hard too when it comes to yarn because it's like some people say they're DK weight, but they're not really. They're like actually worsted or Aran. And there's a lot of names for weights too. Like some of the same weight yarns actually have like similar names. So yeah, weights of yarns are actually a little confusing for me because I'm usually always using worsted weight pretty much entirely. Sometimes I use bulky, but I'm a worsted weight girly myself. Okay. All right, so there's our arm coming together. That I believe is round 4, 5, 6. So I think we just finished round 6. Yeah. Okay. So now we're on to round 7. Round 7 is where we're going to start making those weird slip stitches and stuff. I'm going to pull the stitch marker up here, just so that it's not like just dangling. What time is it? All right, we're running out of time, so we got to just kind of keep crocheting here. We have a hard deadline today. All right, so round 7, I'm going to do 12 single crochets to start, and then we're going to slip stitch into the front or into the back loops only for the next 5. So that's 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, there's 12 stitches, and now we're going to work only into the back loops. So that means the loops furthest away from us, so like right there. And we're just going to do a slip stitch into 5 of those in a row. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the goal here is to leave that front loop open, because in 2 rounds we're going to work into those front loops that we didn't work into. So that way it pulls the arm. Like by doing that, it'll naturally pull the arm in like that to give it a little bit of a curve. We just want a little bit of a curve for that. We're going to finish this round 7 up by just single crocheting into the last stitch right there. All right, round 8, we're actually going to do that same thing again, but for those slip stitches, we're going to work into the slip stitches that we just made instead of working in those front loops only. So that's 12 single crochets to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't even know if I need to count necessarily because it'll just be at the same stitch as the last one. So that's 11 and 12. Okay, Now we're at those slip stitches that we made. Now you can really work anywhere you want because this is going to be hidden on the inside of the piece anyhow. But I'll just work into the back loops like we did before right there and just do slip stitches in all those back loops for 5 slip stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that. And then we'll do one more single crochet into this last stitch right there. Okay, so you can kind of see, it looks, honestly, it looks like a mess a little bit because it's kind of hard to distinguish what's what here. But essentially, this last round, all these V's right there was our slip stitches. This is the front loops of the slip stitches before. And then this is the slip stitches that we're going to work into in our next round. So it pulls it down. Okay. Let's go for it. So that's going to be the end of round 8. Round 9, we're going to be single crocheting into each stitch around. The first 12 stitches are going to be normal. So just normal single crochets for 12 stitches. The next 5 after that are going to be those front loops from 2 rounds above. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 10, 11, and there's 12. Let's count my stitches just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. And now we want 2 rounds above. So this part's kind of hard actually. What we basically want to do is we want to pull the loop out like this to give it our hook more room to move. That's kind of a lot. We don't need it that much. Like that much is fine. And then we're going to find that front loop from 2 rounds above. So there's 1, 2, right here. So this front loop right there. We could work into the other front loop too. Actually, yeah, let's go for it. See what happens. So we use both those front loops at the same time and pull a piece through. What will happen then? Yeah, see how that pulls it in a lot like that? That's going to create that curve, that arch that we want. Okay? And I like that we're working into both of those at the same time, actually. It kind of makes that arch even more prominent, which is nice. So we're going to go into that front loop and then into the next front loop up right there. So we're into like 2 front loops at the same time like that. And then we do a single crochet. You don't really need to work into both of those. You could just work into the first front loop, but I think both will give us a little bit more of a sturdy shape to our piece. We'll find out. Okay, last one right there. Okay, that'll be our 5 single crochets working in those 2 front loop rounds at the same time. And now the last round, our last stitch, we want to work all the way into our base stitches right there and do 1 single crochet. So just a normal single crochet. And see how that really, really pulled it in like that? It makes it kind of look weird a little bit, but it just like pulls it forward, which is what we're kind of aiming for there. Okay, now rounds 10 and 11. So 2 more rounds after this. Yeah, 2 rounds. We're just going to do a single crochet into each stitch around. There should still be 18 stitches around. So now we just need 2 rounds of single crochets. When we get to those front loop only stitches, by the way, just work into the stitches as if they're normal stitches, because now they kind of are. And our goal here is to have that arch in a nice way. I use this arch technique for kind of a lot of patterns actually. I know I used it for the tortoise pattern to make the neck. And I've used it just for like patterns here and there when I want to create an arch, but I don't want to use increases or decreases for that arch so that it's a little cleaner of an arch. Oops. There we go. Last stitch right there. All right, and that's going to be round 10. You see that arch? See that arm? Kind of cool, right? It's a cool little technique. Fun trick to use in the future too. All right, next round here is just another round of single crochets, and then we can decrease it down, and then we'll just make 1 more of these arms. Okay. By the way, I'm on round 11. right now. And round 11 again is just single crochets all the way around for 18 stitches. Pretty easy. Very nice. Okay. 2 more. All right, that's the end of round 11 there. We only have 1 more round to go. Here you can kind of see the arm next to the arm, by the way. It's totally working out. I think I anticipated a little bit bigger that this yarn would be coming out a little bit bigger, but it's really not that much bigger. All right, last round here. For this last round of the arms, we're gonna do 4 single crochets and then a decrease, repeated 3 times around. The goal here is to bring it down from 18 stitches down to 15. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our 5th stitch will be an invisible decrease working in those front loops for that decrease like that. Like that. And we're gonna repeat that 3 times around. So let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our decrease. And then last repeat of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then our decrease right here. All right. And I think we're gonna finish this round up by just doing a slip stitch. Let me make sure. Yeah. Slip stitch into the next stitch right here. Pull through. We want a long enough end here to sew it onto the body. So we'll go like, maybe like this far, like that, and just pull it all the way in. And there we have it. Here, let's pull our stitch marker out as well. Get in there and find it. There we go. Get our shaping a little bit better. And I'll tell you what else we'll do. We'll stuff it a little bit right now so we can play around with the hand a little bit. But there's the shaping. Let's look at it from different angles real quick. Right? The hand's a little bit wonky. The fingers are looking a little weird, but it's not that bad actually. And I love that shaping there. Okay. All right, let's stuff it a little bit. And I'm gonna use a more dense stuffing for this project, by the way. Sometimes I have different kinds of stuffing to use, but it doesn't really matter to be honest. But I just want to stuff it up enough so that it like maintains a shaping to the end of it. And so we can test out this part. So now if I close the arm in like that, hey, look at that. That wire totally kept it closed. So now the idea is he could hold on to, I don't know how well it's going to work, but the hope was that he could hold on to things, but that's a little big, so I guess he can't hold on to that. All right, let's stretch that back out. I don't know if this wire is really the best move, but it's a nice little perk that we might never use. Okay. All right, so there's one of the arms. We just want to make one more of these arms for today's stream before we move on to the next, or before we end today's stream, and then we'll schedule our next one. I'm glad to know that 1 ball of yarn was enough. Like, we still have a pretty decent amount of that ball. So, it looks like we'll probably only need maybe 3 balls of yarn, which is pretty good, actually. I don't know. The body might be a yarn suck. I'm honestly not sure. It's hard to tell because there's just so many stitches there. Okay. We're making another arm now. And because I just taught how to make it, I'm just going to kind of like do it and hang out with the chat instead. As we crochet. Okay, so what the plan is after today's live stream is I'm going to tonight and tomorrow, I'm going to try to get this onto the website with Cooper's help. So that the arms and ears and stuff are on the website. and then schedule. We're gonna schedule the next live stream as soon as we can. I want to get as many votes as I can in so that people have time to like get their thoughts in. But again, we are planning on our next live stream right now. We're doing a vote. The vote is on our community channel. Here, I'll put a link again into the chat real quick. Okay, there you go. So what you can do right now, if you are watching on our live chat, is you can vote for what day you want us to do our next live stream. The options are between Monday the 15th at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Wednesday June 17th at noon Pacific Standard Time, so 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Tuesday June 23rd at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Thursday June 25th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the future, if you're watching this way after the fact and you're like, well, a little late now, buddy, I highly suggest you subscribe to the channel and hit the little bell icon so you don't miss it when we come out with new live streams. And if you join the email list, you can also get emails about these live streams when they happen, as well as when I come out with new patterns or sales or you know, a bunch of things like that. If you want to join our email list, all you need to do is go to clubcrochet.com and create an account, and it'll join you into the email list, and then you can cancel it obviously at any time. Accounts are totally free on Club Crochet, by the way. Did I do that wrong? No, we're good. We're doing fine. We're doing fine. And then I don't know when this next live stream for this puppet is gonna be. Wow, music is blasting. We're gonna switch that song. So I don't know exactly when our next live stream is gonna be for this fella. Hello, Isaiah. But so it might be next week, it might be the week after, I'm not really sure. But I will have another live stream going on next Friday at this time. So even though we're going to be doing the live stream for the puppets at different times, we'll still have our Friday live stream next week in addition to that. So I think our live stream next week, I'm hoping that I'm ready to announce my game, and we'll do a big live stream all about my new card game next Friday. That's my goal. So I hope you can make it, because it's really cool and I'm really excited to share it, but I'm like kind of nervous, to be honest. I'm always nervous in showing off something that I've been working on a bunch that isn't necessarily like a crochet project, because I don't know how people are going to respond to that, you know? All right, one more thingy here, and then we have our arm. I kind of am wondering if we want to even bother with that wire. We might as well. We already did it on one. Oh, dang. My bad. I was trying to make it work out better for people in international zones, but I didn't really think about that as much. I thought it would be... I mean, well, some of them are a little sooner, right? I'll try to do... I wanted to schedule one of those streams for really late at night. So maybe the stream after that one might be at like a really, really late night one for me. Because I'm a night owl. So I'm usually up till like... Wow. Did you hear that? That's crazy, dude. Wow. Okay, so I'm usually like a super night owl. And I'm up till like 4 or 5 in the morning. So we're working on a little like outdoor kind of studio thing for me, because right now I'm in our like spare room, which is really cool, but I can't do videos late at night because I'll wake up Jules. So my goal is to get a oh wait, sorry, 1 second. I need to get the wire. My goal is to get to the point where I have that place where I can live stream in a different spot in the house, so I can do really late night ones, which will work a lot better for international people. I mean, the World Cup this time is going to be a little rough anyhow. The noon one is the only time that works for you. Well, let's hope that one gets the votes. Okay, so we're just adding this wire now. 1, 2, this will be 3. Like that. I'm gonna try working around this wire for more stitches this time too. Let's see what happens. I might end up having to like undo this round and do it again. I just don't want that wire to like really show through the stitches too much. And it looks like it's gonna. So you know what, we're not gonna do that for every stitch. We'll do a few stitches and then we'll skip a stitch. Stitch, this one. No. This one will be yes. That. No, hold on. There we go. All right. One and 2 in the same stitch. That over. This wire is fighting me. 1 out. Okay. Almost done with this round. I have to say this wire round is probably the most annoying round so far. Just because the wire keeps poking my hands. So I have to like crochet in an awkward position as I go. It's not that bad though, honestly. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, pull this over. Do 1 right here. And then 2 in around the wire. And then we'll do the last one around the wire too. Okay, pull that out for a second. We're gonna wind these ends of the wire together like we did on our last one. Yeah, kind of like that. Doesn't really matter, we can make it a mess. It's gonna be on the inside anyhow. Just wanna make sure that we have enough wire. Just not pulling the hand in too much. That's our goal. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't think so. It might have pulled it in a little bit more than I wanted it to, but it's not that bad. All right, let's cut the wire and bend it inwards so it doesn't poke our hands too much. Come on, there we go. That one didn't want to cut that much. Nice. Oh. And we'll just bend this wire in. Probably not bad. And I'm a little worried I pulled that in a little much with that wire. Let's see what the hands... it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm overthinking it. Okay. Back to it. Well, you know, the U.S. is definitely not going to make it very far in the World Cup this year also. I don't think so. I'll be really surprised if they do. I don't usually watch sports, though, to be honest. Except for sometimes the Olympics. I do like to watch the Olympics. Alright, now is just our rounds of single crochets. Couple rounds. Trying to keep away from that wire. I love it. I love that Tina's here in the chat too. Can I whistle? I can do 2 whistles. You want to hear my loud whistle? So actually, that's a fun question. Fun question. So first thing was, can I whistle? Me and my mom had a challenge when I was a kid to be the first one to whistle, and I lost that challenge when I was a kid. And so when I was an adult, I was like, I'm gonna learn how to whistle because I play music and I wanted to whistle for music and stuff. So I just practiced for like a month straight of just like, and then until I finally got. And then for Father's Day 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I learned how to do a really, really loud whistle without my hands. It's actually really shockingly easy to do. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. Sorry, Jules, I'm going to make a really loud whistle right now. She's going to be like, why'd you whistle so loud earlier? So I'll have to explain that later. But here's the trick. You do a f, and a th at the same time. And then you just practice doing that for like a week straight, preferably while you're not driving a car, because you will get a little weak in the head. Sorry about your, turn it down. Turn down your sound just a little bit right now, because it might be really loud. It'll definitely peak. Here, you know what? I'll turn down my, no, you know what? You can turn down yours. Here we go. Ready? I don't even know if I hope that didn't hurt someone's ears. It's really easy to do though. And I can do like, I can do it really loud. And you don't need your fingers for it. You don't need your hands for it. You can just do it. Just th and th. And it's like, your tongue is like right behind your upper teeth. And then the air is going around the bottom under your lip right there. And it's making like this little funnel. And I can feel it like kind of going under my tongue. The air. And I think that's what makes the whistle. Super useful. Straight up, like, no joke. I think it's one of the most useful whistles that I know. It's so useful. Because I can just like call people from far away. I don't need to have my hands. Yeah. My dad always used to have that really loud whistle too, but he always needed his hands. He would do this. He would do like an OK sign with his hands, and he'd put it in his mouth like this, and he'd do a whistle with it. I don't know how to do that way. But I didn't like the idea of always having to need my hands for it, so I tried to learn how to do it without it. And so that's why it was my Father's Day gift to him. I know it's a silly gift, but it was like, honestly, I think it made him really proud. All right, I'm gonna bend these two in just a little bit. Okay, just a few more rounds to go. We're actually above time here, so I need to go really quick for our last few rounds of the arms. 3, 4. Should count my stitches. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And then we're going to work those front loop or back loops and just do slip stitches for 5, 3, 4, 5, and then a single. That. Another reason I learned how to whistle like that is because I really like I like having little talents that I can do. I don't know. There's always like these little things that I'm like, I want to practice how to do that. Like this. You see me do it every now and then where I'll do this thing. It's another thing that's just like, it's something that I always wanted to learn how to do. And so I just practice until I could do it. Like that. Good question. You're really good at whistling through your teeth. Through the lips. Not, yeah. I actually not that good at whistling. That's how my grandpa always used to whistle too. I can't really do it though. Where? Oh, okay, I know where I'm at. I'm like, where did I just stop? I remember. Shout out to Cooper. Thank you so much, Cooper. You typed up the rough draft on the site? You rock, Coop. Thank you so much. That's exactly what I was hoping for, actually. To just get it on the site ASAP, and then I'll just add the pictures in and stuff after today's stream. I think this is 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. All right, just a few more rounds here. We're actually almost done with today's live stream. Again, if you haven't yet, please like this video down below. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss it when we come out with live streams just like this. We're going to be live again most definitely next Friday. So if you would like to join Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we'll definitely be live. We also might be live sooner than that, though. It's going to be based on your vote. So if you would like to vote right now, you can check out the link in the... I put it in the chat a few minutes ago, but also you can find it from the community channel, our community section of our YouTube channel. And that's where we're doing a vote for when our next live stream for this puppet crochet along will be. So if you'd like to go vote on that, that would be really helpful. But yeah, we'll be live again next Friday regardless, in addition to that. If I'm not doing a live stream about my new game, then I'll probably be doing a Father's Day crochet along. So yeah, basically regardless, I'll see you next week. I'll see you next week. All right, so now we just have 2 rounds, right? Yeah, 2 rounds of just singles, and then I decrease it down. So pretty easy last few rounds here for the arms. And so by this time, by our next live stream, the goal is to have, since we'll have this pattern on the website, it'll be easy for you to just, maybe crochet these body parts before the live stream, or you could crochet the arms and legs on our next live stream as we figure out how to make the head and start creating the puppet mouth. I actually think that's might be our next step. Actually, no. I think we're going to be crocheting the head next, all the way down to where the mouth is. And we'll do the mouth part like this. We'll probably get down to like here next stream. And then we'll start making the mouth part itself. It's like a whole mechanism that we're going to have to make in a weird way. I don't know how I'm going to do it in this light box, but we'll figure it out together. It's essentially like 2 pieces of cardboard taped together, and then you add felt on top of that. So I'll try to get everything prepared before the stream a little bit more, but we'll probably figure it out together on the live stream. All right, last round here. For this last round, again, I'm just doing 3 single crochets and then, or 4 single crochets and then a decrease, like that. Get down to 15 stitches. 15 stitches. Oopsies. There we go. Our music ended. I guess that's a good timing. Here, we'll get it back going because we want some music. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Decrease. All right, last repeat here. 3, 4. And then our final decrease. And then we'll just slip stitch 1. Nice. Pull it through. Let's add a little bit of stuffing into the end of this hand. It'll help to keep that pokey wire from ever popping out too. And keep the hand giving the hand some shape, which is going to be nice too. All right. All right, let's look at what we did today. First off, we made 2 ears. Boop, boop. 2 ears. Pretty nice. Here, let me actually also hold these out so I can get a quick little screenshot of this for the images later. I'll move this guy out of the way. Okay, so today we have finished 2 ears. Pretty good. Not too bad. Not too shabby, I would say. Next, we made a nose, which looks more like this way. Okay, so there's the nose. Again, here's the nose next to the ears, so you can kind of see the different shape. It's just very subtly shorter. Okay, so there's a ear and there's a nose. Looks pretty good. Then we have arms. Made our 2 arms, which were a little complicated, but honestly they weren't that bad. They weren't too complicated there. So here, this is usually how I hold my arms out to get a screenshot. Is I'll do one in like one position like this, and then I'll do another one in this position like that, so you can see the front of it and the side of it at the same time. So for our screenshot, it's not too bad. All right. And that's what we made today. Here, we'll put them down here. Ears. Arms. That. And then our nose. That. Huh? Not too bad. All right, team. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Also, by the way, if you were waiting for our where did I put him? Where is he? Oh, he's right here. He's on screen. If you're waiting for our pattern for St. Buffin, the toppling, that's right, we voted for the name, and you all voted on St. Buffin, the toppling. That was the winner. From last week's Roll to Crochet, here's what he looks like without his little burp hat. He's got a cute little... Look at how cute he is. This pattern is going to be on the website as soon as possible. I tried to finish it last night, but I just couldn't do it in time. So I'm going to get it on the site as soon as I possibly can. Thank you guys so much again for watching. See you next week. Pasta la pizza. Happy hooking. And, oh my gosh, stop. You hang up first. Oh my gosh, you're making me blush. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. Okay, bye. Fine, I'll hang up first. Fine, I'll hang up first then. Fine. No, I don't even care. I don't care. No, you hang up first. You hang up first. Because stop. Okay, bye.